Good morning, my darlings. I've had a couple of requests come in for an eye makeup application tutorial, and it is my pleasure to spend some time this morning creating that for you. Yeah, because sometimes it's like, don't tell me how you did it, show me, and I get that. So eye makeup application, you can do really fast if you need to, if you're time poor, and still make it look amazing. Or you can take more care if you've got the time to achieve, like a really highly polished look. So maybe I'll just shoot for something in between today. Now, because I've got greeny blue eyes, probably a little bit more green than blue, I really like using eyeshadow colors that juxtapose my natural eye color to really make them pop. But sometimes it's really nice to also do a complementary color to your own natural eye color as well. Today, I thought I would go into the pink spectrum. So just have a think about your own eye color and think, oh my Lord, what's going on? What's the matter? Melon, come see Mum. Something exciting's happened. Maybe it's found a gecko. So yeah, have a think about your own eye color and think about colors that on the color wheel opposite to your eye color. So what I've done so far this morning, used vitamin C serum, then I've put hyaluronic over the top just to moisturize, put a little bit of eye cream on, and then I have laid down some primer. And I take my primer right up under the eye area, and then I have put some light foundation down, put some concealer under my eyes, and then just set everything down. So there's nothing on the eyelids, although I do take my concealer around under the eye, and because I've got such deep set eyes and they're quite hooded as well, I tend to get quite dark and shadowy in here, like lots of us do. So I do take my concealer into this sort of inner area here and blend it a little bit. My go-to kind of eye base is this one. It's MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. So I just start by laying this down, and I find it especially helpful if I'm using my Trinny London Eye to Eye big creamy products, because it just helps make them set and not, move around. And I take this right up to the brow. I make sure that the whole area is covered. See how I'm going like right up to the underbrow area here, tapping it in and blending it. So I sort of took my concealer up here, my under eye concealer under here and up here a little bit, and I'm just sort of merging this paint pot. And it's quite sticky and tacky, and that's what you want. You can use a brush to do this. I'm just enjoying working with my fingers at the moment. I'm just going to check that in the mirror because the camera is a little small, and I make sure that I've got full coverage, and I have, and then I'm on to the next step. Now, when I said that I was going to work a pink look, let me just talk about that for a second. I could do a full-on pink lip look where every color that I use on my eyes is a version of, pink. Or really, it's a version of red with white in it, isn't it? Or I could take something more neutral and work it into pink and then work it into the deepest burgundies. I'm gonna give that one a go today. I have got this beautiful color from Trinny London. It is called Moon. So it's got a little bit more of a gray taupe base to the silver. And you can see there's a lot of gleam there. But I'm going to lay this color down as a wash. So I'll show you what I do. Grab some on my finger. Just to keep it like really simple, I'm just gonna actually, when I say wash, I'm gonna wash it everywhere. So I'm kind of laying the product down onto the lower lid, and then I'm sort of window open motions, spreading it up. Often use a brush just to, So that's one eye with my Moon wash on, the other without. You can see the difference. So I'm just going to use my finger. Okay, both eyes done. Now, there's nothing wrong with just using Moon. It isn't got a huge amount of sparkle to it, but it does have light reflecting properties. And in this area here, where I'm very deep set, I don't actually know if I want light reflecting and bouncing off this part. I definitely want it in here, which I'll show you soon, but I'm just going to tone down the gleam a little bit. And what I do there, so I'll go into a shade that's very similar to the one that I've used for the wash. So in this case, I've used Moon, and my similar shade is called Your Majesty. It's one from the Jeffree Star palette. And I just pick up a little bit of it on a soft fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take it in this area here. See how I'm kind of going in a backwards C shape? Just to sort of matte down the moon. But again, that's just, you know, preference. It's still going to be fine not to do that, but I like to do that. So I haven't changed, you know, the color at all. I've just added a matte version of it, really, into that area. Because for me, my eyeshadow work, it shouldn't be limited to just the lid, or, you know, just the lid and just above it. It really is from this part of the brow to this part of the brow. This is your canvas. So I guess my tip here is don't forget about this bit. It's important that it's cohesive and it works in with your entire look. So I'm laying that sort of foundation down, okay? But overall, it hasn't changed much. It hasn't changed in terms of color, but it will make a definite impact on the completed look. So now I'm going to go into a pink shade. I've got a great array to choose from in Huda's new palette. I am looking forward to Trini coming out with some pinks. I'm sure she will at some point. So I'm going to start with this little one here, Lace. A pale lilac-y pink, right? I'm taking it on the same large soft fluffy brush that I've used for Moon and Your Majesty. So with Lace, I'm just going to bring it sort of into the inner corner. I'm going to bring it right up to the crease and even above the crease. So with my particular shape eyes, which I know is you know, is really common, I've got, you know, quite a prominent brow and my eyes are deep set. So I'm going to, I want to apply my color in a way that where it goes into the crease, but also above it, or else you don't see enough of it when my eyes are open. Okay, and I'm sort of taking that over. I mean, look how I'm kind of using my brush. I'm using it in window wiper motions, back and forth. I'm going little circles out into the outer corner. I'm going right into the socket. And I'm blending sort of in diagonal movements, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, down to my lash line and sort of up in a 45-degree angle heading to the corner of my brow, and that really light color. So that's one eye done in Lace. Okay, so that's just my wash of Moon with a little bit of Your Majesty in here, and then this is a wash of Lace over the top. I'll just even the other one up quickly off camera. Okay, a couple of things I want you to be aware of. So even though I do have hooded eyes and this part of my eye kind of does come over the lid a little bit, I'm not shying away from applying makeup onto it. In fact, it can be far more flattering to apply makeup onto that hooded part, so long as you're using matte formulas in deeper shades. So we're going to deepen up some of that lace as we move along, because remember, anything light, especially with light reflecting particles in it, is going to draw attention. So when we think about we've just got to think about where we're comfortable and where we want to draw attention in our eye area. I don't want to draw attention to this part. I'm happier to draw attention down closer to the lash line on the lowest part of the lid because that's the closest part to my eye color. I'm happy to draw attention in here to lighten and brighten and cause a bit of an optical illusion that my eyes aren't as deep set as they are, but I don't want to be getting all eyes on the imperfections on my upper lid. I'm actually helping my cause by using shadow on it. All right, so that's lace done on 2 eyes. Now I'm going to jump over to Trini's Strength product. So this is another eye to eye like Moon, but look how dark it is. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's like an aubergine burgundy, hey, darkest pink. So I'm going to apply that one to give my eyes more depth in the outer area because at the moment I'm lacking light and shade on my look, in my opinion, for what I'm wanting to do today. I'm wanting a little bit more of a juxtaposition between the lightness of the moon that you can see in Your Majesty that you can see here and lace and what I bring the color to at the outer corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a small soft fluffy brush, same brush, like these are just really inexpensive ones from Sephora, the brand is Zoeva, and I'm going to take some of Strength on the tip, and I do use my magnification side, and then I'm just going to apply Strength and I'm sort of dabbing it on and using little circles. I mean, look, I know that Trini and Chloe can do this super fast with their fingers, and like I said, like there are times when I will do that too, but you're going to get a far more polished look if you take a little bit more time and a little bit more care, and in my opinion use brushes, not fingers, because you really don't want to be applying the darkest, deepest colors over too much of the lid, and that because if you do, then that's when we get into the position where everything just kind of becomes muddy and merges into the same look. So I'm kind of, yeah, little circles, dabbing, back and forth. Everything's tiny. I'm going into that most inner socket. I'm going into the crease. I'm totally not bothered that it's going a bit above the crease and below the crease. I'm not trying to do just a perfect line. And I'm sort of I notice I haven't taken lots and lots of product. I'm just sort of working with what I've already got on the brush. I build up slowly. Now I'm going to start bringing that color down to the lash line. Then I'm just going to have a look at in the normal mirror, see how I'm going. Okay, so just have a look between the eyes. So this one hasn't got any strength yet, and this one does. See how I've deepened up this V? Look at the difference. Now let me have a good little evaluation. Okay, in my opinion, it's going to be more flattering on my eyes just to bring the strength up a little bit higher onto that hooded area, but I'm going to be pretty blooming delicate with it. So just got a tiny bit more product. This is where sometimes I actually do move to the big soft fluffy brush just to kind of get that faster blend. So that's what it looks like with my eye closed. So you can see that, you know, the difference between what I've got over here and here is quite obvious. On this one, it's the same. Okay, closed from the front, open. I'll do the other eye, then we'll continue. Okay, I've done the other eye. I ended up putting a little bit more strength on this one. So I've added a tiny little bit more to this one as well. So that's how it ended up. So look at that. I've got color on this hooded part. So it's got lace, and now it's also got strength. Okay, something important. Well, we don't need to, but for this kind of buffed out, soft, smoked out look, in my opinion, it's more attractive to bring it under the eye as well. If you're going for a very different, look with a, low winged liner, for example, and you want it very clean, it makes sense not to. But in this case, I think it's important to. So we've got to take a clean, tightly packed brush. So look at, that's the shape of this one. So it's quite flat and it's pretty narrow. It's kind of diamond shaped on the top to allow for precision, but the sort of tightly packed bristles allow for quite a lot of product to go on, which is what we want. I actually really like to use exactly the same colors that I've used on the top underneath. I mean, I should have done this as I was going, I actually forgot. So first one was moon, right? So see how I'm just sort of softly applying moon, and now I'm not being too fussy about how low I go. Like I actually don't want it just in a very thin, hard line. I want it to be diffused and soft, kind of mirroring the look that I'm going for up here. More on the and do the other eye and show you. So I'm just gonna start off, pretty carefully laying that down, that collar down, and then blending it down. So that's my little base. Can't really see it too much. Then I'm going into lace, which is my next color, and brush. A little bit of lace. I'm not going to take lace like right into the inner corner. I want moon to have its own moment. So I'm just going to sort of start lace about here. Okay, so that's with a little bit of lace added. So just moon on that side under the under eye area, and with lace added on that side. We'll just even them up. Okay, both eyes. Now we need to do a little bit of strength. But for strength, I'm going to move to my little tiny skinny brush, because I don't want to be clumsy with the application of strength. I'm going to apply it with precision and then buff it out. So when I apply it, see, I'm just sort of applying it under the eye in this very small area here, but I am taking it up into a tiny little wing and then down to the lashes. So it's sort of like a V shape there, right? Then I'm going to get my, I'm going to use my large soft fluffy brush because I just feel like it gives me the effect that I'm after, and I just lightly, very, very lightly, like a feather light kiss with the brush over the top. Look at that. See? No hard lines for this look. I'll even up the other side. Okay, so that's 2 eyes done. Well, not done, but like done so far. Not too hard, hey? All right, so now what I would do, I mean, that could be my look. I'm happy with that. But if I want to go to something extra, what I'll do is I'd go to Jeffree Star. Because like Huda, he does pinks. I mean, he does everything beautifully, but here's my Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette. So it's purples and pinks and some greens. I'm going to go into maybe these two here are my favorite little feature looks for the lower lid. So I'm going to start off with the darker one, which is called Pink Magic. And because this one's got razzle dazzle sparkle in it, it's going to draw the eye of the beholder. I'm going to keep it the heck away from my upper lids. They need to recede with the depth that I've given them with strength on top of lace. But my lower lids closer to the green in my eyes, I'm going to use this, and I use my finger. It just seems to go on better. And I keep the application low. So I'm kind of like rubbing it into the lash line almost. Well, I am, and slightly above it. Okay, so eyes closed. And that's just rubbed on with my finger. I haven't done anything else. And you can kind of just keep blending it. I do like picking up my brush and just, you know, getting that seamless cohesion with the shadow and the new product. Okay, so that's with Jeffree Star's Wet Jewel on this eye, and this one without. See what a little difference a careful application of the right kind of product can make, and it will just get better and better with mascara and brows on. So I'll even it the other side. Okay, that's two done. And I could just stop there. It would be fine. I could have stopped ages ago and just put some mascara and brows on, and it would have been great. But I'm just showing you what we can achieve if we want to. Now I'm going to go in. Oh, sorry, this other one was called Pink Magic. I said Wet Jewel, I think. Now I'm going into Wet Jewel, so this is the more of a baby pink. Okay, because that one's got to have its moment too. So I'm just going to do the same technique, but I'm going to go along the lash line closer to the inner corner with the Wet Jewel. And I'm actually going to take it around into the inner corner and just under the tear duct as well. Okay, so that side with Pink Magic into the inner corner, rub just into the lash line and above it, slightly around the inner corner and just underneath. Not a lot of product is needed. Goes a long, little bit goes a long way. Okay, just do this side. Okay, two eyes done. Eyes closed. Eyes open. And just notice, you know, the reason that I'm being so sort of deliberate about the application being down close to the lashes and just blending it slightly above is because you don't want this color here to work its way up to this crease, because if your eyes are like mine, the higher up you bring the glistening, you know, whiz bang wow feature color, the greater the risk is transferring it to the upper eye area when you open your eyes, because it depends how hooded your eyes are, whether this part at the top is going to touch. And remember, we want to keep matte, deeper shades up in this area. I think it's time to do a little highlighting. Highlight is everyone's friend, but especially if you've got deep set eyes. So I'm going to use my color here, Luna, and I love this brush. It's actually a concealer brush, but it's the perfect round shape, and it's so well compacted. Like, look at that. That I find that it's just perfect for me to stamp my highlighter, kind of put it in there, stamp it on, wiggle it around a little bit. Okay, and then I can kind of blend it as well. So with highlight, look how much that opens up my eye area. Highlight, no highlight. And I'm quite generous with my highlight application. I just wipe away some fallout. Next good place to put some highlight is under the brow. I'm going to just make sure that I apply it very precisely, just under the sort of tail end of the brow. Even up the side. Cool. A little bit down the nose for a bit of fun, a little bit on the cheeks for a bit of fun. All right, okay, I'm feeling pretty good about that eye makeup. Let's just see it come to life with mascara and brows. Back in a minute. Brows on. Lashes. Lashes. Now, I've got no lippy and I've got no blush. So I'm just gonna wax some of Trini's Electra on my cheeks. It's a very, very mild, soft, sort of dusky rose. I always feel like it does need a little bit more kapow, but I can achieve that easily. Just getting like another product, even strength will be fine. Actually a little bit of strength goes a long way. Tiny bit of strength in my fingers, merging it with Electra and patting it in as well. See how I just get a little bit more intensity? Cheeks are important. Okay, and then I've got myself one of Trini's new lip loves. This one is Dahlia, so it's more of a purple. Oh, so pretty. I'm gonna mix a little bit of Electra into it. It's on. So there's my tutorial. I hope you liked it. So yeah, it definitely is one for when you've got a bit more time. Obviously, I'd be faster without, having to think about talking to camera, and you get faster with more practice. But I just hope that I have, you can see the power of the application. I guess less is more. Less is more. Applying less, blending more, building up slowly. That's the trick, not to end up with everything all merged and muddy with no clear differentiation. You can see here that we've got, lightest from the whitest highlight through a spectrum of pink. White, we've got this sort of grey, neutral, soft pink, into deeper pink, and the darkest, deepest burgundy on the edge. So that was tutorial number 1. I feel inspired to make another one for you. I think I'll do a complimentary eye look now. So check out the next video, and I'll see you soon on there.